Pioneer Farms, the 19th century living history museum in Northeast Austin, is about to get another historic building.
In the next week or two, a classic old Texas dance hall will travel in two pieces from near LaGrange in Fayette County down 60 miles of blacktop to the Pioneer Farms site. New at 6 this evening, KXAN's Jim Swift brings us the backstory of Wessels Dance Hall.
Nestled in a live oak grove just off State Highway 71 near LaGrange stands an old dance hall. It was built in the early 1930s by a fellow named John Wessels and John's brothers, Adolph Wessels and Charlie Wessels.
I think it's well constructed because the roof's been on there 80 years, a little better. Doesn't leak. All the rafters are solid, the floor is solid. The walls started to deteriorate some for lack of paint. Otherwise, if it had been painted, it probably lasted real well.
84-year-old Gene Wessels is the son of John Wessels, the brother who put up the money for the building's construction.
My dad would have a dance, I think probably about once a week. He'd bring me down, of course.
There was nothing fancy about the place. In the summertime, in order to keep cool, they had these big windows with trap doors on them that they would just lower and let the breeze come through. And even though things weren't fancy, they also had some high-tech wizardry.
Inside the hall, they had the big fan they built. It's a huge one, and it had pull with a T-model engine in it.
And a Model T engine to run the fan?
Yes. Everybody really loved it. They danced and wanted to go in front of the fan to get cooled off.
My grandfather, John Wessels, built the fan, and he put 4 blades on it that were made of tin. And the very first time he turned it on, it had so much wind that it blew the ladies' dresses up and messed up their hair. So he had to turn it off rather quickly. And then he took 2 of the blades off, and it was just right for hot summer evenings.
60 miles away at Austin's Pioneer Farms, history buffs were looking for just such a building.
We had several volunteers out here who went out and drove around and looked at these. Some of them were just in too bad a shape to do anything with. I mean, the roof was literally collapsing. You know, we had volunteers go into one, and there was a huge nest of snakes in there. All kinds of excitement.
The buildings and artifacts at Pioneer Farms replicate an 1880s Central Texas town. The Wessels structure, on the other hand, was built in the early 1930s. It will still fit in at the farms, though, because it bears the same design as the 19th century dance halls, and because it will be used in the recreated village just like all the dance halls before it, as a place to enjoy music. Jim Swift, KXAN News.